Hi, my name's Alex Osmond, and today I'm going to be talking about my book, Academic Writing and Grammar for Students, which you can see the cover of beautifully illustrated here, published by Sage. So I studied English with creative writing at university, so writing in various forms has always been interesting to me. And after finishing my studies, I've worked in various universities teaching academic skills generally, so things like presentation skills, time management, and so on, but with a kind of particular focus on academic writing and what that means, what that consists of. And more recently, my actual job has been more around technology and learning, but still very much supporting students in doing well in their studies. And I'm moving on now to do more around student experience and kind of, again, how to get the most from a student's studies. Well, I think there are lots of great study skills books out there, or academic skills, whichever you want to call it, and I think they all deal with the various skills that you need to develop to do well at university at whatever level. But I kind of feel that some of them deal very well with lots of skills. They're quite long. And while, from my experience, students are very much willing to devote the time to developing their skills, so they get better grades and get more out of their studies, I kind of feel that there aren't enough of these books that focus very much on writing as a skill in itself, along with things that go with that, like grammar, which is a whole subject, a whole topic in itself, that some people perhaps don't find as interesting as maybe I do, and they don't have time to learn this stuff while they're studying a full degree program. And additionally, a lot of the grammar-focused books that you can get that are often excellent, and I refer to lots of these kinds of books in my book in the kind of recommended reading sections, but a lot of those, the examples they use aren't particularly academic, so the readers kind of have to make this jump in their own minds where they kind of understand a grammatical concept, but the actual subject matter used to illustrate that was something about going into a coffee shop or some sentence like that, and they have to kind of think, well, how do I turn that into, how do I use that concept in an academic way? So I think, or I hope my book has made that jump for them by focusing very much on academic language and academic writing, but with a focus on grammar and good practice and kind of what your tutors will expect from your essays and assignments. Well, I mean, I think if my book does the things I've just mentioned that it sets out to do, then I think, or I would hope, that students will find it a very useful book to read cover to cover or dip in and out of, to pick up kind of specific practical advice that they can immediately apply to their own work. And remember, this is based on my own experience, seeing lots of essays and being very aware of common issues, areas that need to be improved, that are often quite easy to sort out and to fix. So I would hope that students, any student at any level of any ability, will find some things in this book where they can actually directly apply that to the next thing they write, and then build on that, on all the assignments and essays they do beyond that as they continue their studies. Oh, and I suppose the other thing that that the other kind of benefit that's not so much for students is that, let's say you're a lecturer teaching a course, and you've obviously only got so many teaching hours, and you need to make the most of these teaching hours, and you're an expert in your field, and you've got so much to teach these students, to prepare them for the exams and the essays. You know, if you have a cohort of students who are, you know, developing their own skills independently in terms of writing well and kind of writing in this academic way that you would expect, that means you ideally would have to spend less time supporting them on that kind of thing. And that gives you more time then to actually talk about the subject-specific stuff and the content of your course. So I'm hoping that, you know, lecturers will see a benefit if all their students are out there reading this book, you know, and developing these skills independently. They will see benefits as well. Well, what I do in the book is I use lots of example paragraphs and sentences, and they, you know, I've deliberately made sure that they come from a huge range of subjects. So there are lots of examples in there from, say, occupational therapy to kind of biomedical stuff to arts-based subjects like English and history, you know, kind of social sciences, economics, politics in there. So what I'm really saying is that you know, any subject in which you're going to be expected to write a kind of full, structured piece of writing, whether that's an essay, an assignment, a report, a dissertation, you know, the write-up of a project, you know, you will benefit from this book because the principles of the writing within that will be the same. There'll be the principles of academic writing, which are pretty universal. And so I think this you know, this book should appeal to and provide benefits for students studying, you know, most subjects. I think if we kind of come back to my answer to the question about you know, this gap I saw, or this need I saw, where students are very willing, more than willing, and eager to develop writing skills, and you know, they want to be able to write in a way that gets them better grades. They want to be able to write in a way that meets the expectations of their tutors. And again, particularly students coming to university for the first time, or students returning to university after a long period of you know, doing other things. These expectations that tutors have of them can be quite daunting, and this idea of, you know, what is academic writing can be quite a daunting and scary one. And so I hope that what my book offers is a kind of simple, clear explanation of what academic writing is, what it should consist of, providing examples of good practice, so that students can then directly apply that stuff to their own work and you know, directly benefit from it in that way.